Oklahoma. Man, what a boring state, but great football over there, though. But also an awesome coach right here in Brent Venables. In case you guys don't know, this is the modern day. Did such a great job at Clemson. Clemson tipped the scales as a offensive coordinator over there, on defense coordinator. I'm sorry,
yeah.
in the salary, and now he took over. Took over this team right here, and it's on him. And Oklahoma, defense is what they needed for years. So if they can keep maintaining what Lincoln Riley's put there, and add Venables to it. Last year, you know what I'm saying, he went 6-7, 3-6 in the conference, getting the feel for being a head coach, getting the feel for taking over somebody else's system, so forth and so on. This year, he digs a little deep into the transfer portal, probably trying to groom up some players of his own. He gets 7 back on offense, 6 back on defense. He's been protecting the house. He's 4-2 at home. Needs to get a little better prepared to play on the road. He's 2-3, 6-7. Brent Venables, what do you think about this coming the second year? This guy, big high-paid guy, going over to a head coach from OC.
Yeah, I'm not going to call the first season a disappointment, but it was little. I thought I had a little higher aspirations, but first-year coaches, you never know. It's like playing spin the bottle. Just depending on the talent and what they try to do and what they accomplish. I mean, he had a nice. Offensively, I don't think he had any issues with Dylan Gabriel. He's probably one of the top tier quarterbacks out there. He's a former UCF kid that transferred over to Oklahoma. So I think he got things lined up offensively. It's on the defensive side where this guy lives. That's his forte, which they struggled pretty bad with. So they're going to have to tighten some things out. They allowed 30 points per game and almost 5.7 yards per play. Seven opponents were able to score 35 points on them last year. So they're going to have to tighten some things up on the defensive side. And this is the other team that's making the move to the SEC. So I'm sure they want to kind of get things forward. I know they hit the portal really hard this year to try to kind of right the ship on the defensive side. They got players from Oklahoma State. They got a Texas State product, Devin Sears, a Wake Forest kid, and Let's see. And they got a defensive lineman who's the first team. That's the only first team guy they got on the team, Ethan Downs, defensive line. So they went out and tried to get him some help. So they got one first team player on the whole squad on defense in the Big 12. So they definitely need to make the improvements. Offensively, I think they'll be fine with Gabriel. And they got to replace Eric Gray, who's a 16-yard receiver, 16-yard running back. And Marvin Mims was a 1,000-yard receiver. So I think they plug and play on the offensive side, and I think we'll see some underclassmen step up on the offense to kind of help the squad out. So I would worry about defense first this year. I think the offense is going to fall in place. Like I said, this is a division that you have maybe like 3 teams that allow like 20 points per game, and everybody else is like north of 28. So make some improvements on defense. The offense will take care of itself.
Yeah, only I like the skill positions on the offense, including the quarterback returning, but they did have to fix the lineup with a couple transfers in there. So I think the offense over here may emerge a little later in the season. It's going to take a little time for them to gel, especially when you talk about the O-line. A lot goes into that, playing like a chain lead fence as the offensive line. So, usually offensive line are connected. It's not a position where these guys eat lunch at a different table. Like these guys eat, sleep, and drink together. So it's going to take some time to get that for the offense to be going. Now, he did have 6 returners on defense, and he did look to the transfer portal to fill some other spots. He got big Jacob Lacey, defensive tackle out of Notre Dame. Great pickup right there. And last year, like you say, he lacked on defense. They've been lacking on defense a year. Points per game, they were 90. The rush was 104. The pass was 116. And that's what this guy makes the big bucks for, to come over and fix this. So second-year coaches, the second year of a team with a new coach, players begin to understand the terminologies, understand, the system, so forth and so on. So I expect definitely some type of advance over here on the defensive side. But it's been known that Venables does have a complicated system. He's known as a complicated coach. So take some kids with a little IQ to be able to catch on. But on the defensive side, that usually happens fast because linebackers and stuff like they eat, sleep, and drink football. You teach them the new way, and they go after it. So let's look into the season total on this team. 9.5 again right here. I'm not so sure about the 9.5. I mean, we're looking at a 6 and 7 team last year and jumping up to 9.5. This is one of those situations where bet-wise, you want to take the under because an injury to the quarterback, you know, a lot of the teams come out like this with a lot of transfers and stuff, and injuries can hold them back. You know, just blame it on injuries for year number 2. So I'm leaning under on this one. How about you, Big Red?
You know, believe it or not, looking at the schedule early on with a lot of these teams that they're playing, you know, a couple of you know, BYU coming in, and some teams that will yield some points. I see a lot of over opportunities, you know, betting on this team. But as far as wins go, I think it's going to be tough. I mean, Cincinnati's going to be way down this year. SMU is going to be a little bit down. Arkansas State. I see like the first 4 games. In reality, I can see, or maybe even the first 5, they can take them out. And then they hit Texas, then they hit UCF, Kansas. So, you know, 9.5 is it's going to be tough, you know. But I mean, this team is expected to play in the SEC, right? So they're going to have to make some moves quickly. Otherwise, they're going to get behind the 8 ball real fast in the SEC. And then I fear for Venables' jobs long term, you know. But it's going to take a little time, like you said, you know, second-year coach, putting things together. I would have to lean under here, you know, but I wouldn't be surprised if they get over because of the schedule and because of the newcomers in the conference. So that's the only saving grace that this team has on the win total.
Yeah, I'm gonna say an easy 5-0 for them, but the Texas game is gonna be the proof in the pudding. But also, you know, most of those road games that they got right there are pretty light games, and that's going to help them a lot. They play Tulsa on the road, Cincinnati on the road, Kansas on the road, and Oklahoma State on the road. All those are winnable games on the road, and that helps out a lot. The coach already has a decent home record, so much love to Oklahoma State. Oklahoma, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hey, just a quick note. He's a first-year coach, so he went 3-6 ATS in the conference and 3-1 non-conference ATS.
There we go. So let's take another trip, man. Let's keep this.